Welcome, my friends of the interwebs, and welcome to the Voodoo Kitchen North. Today I'm going to be making something I think will be fairly healthy. Everybody knows I've got a garden, or you should know I have a garden. And one of the things I look forward to the most is when the tomatoes start coming in. And typically there's a couple of things that I do with the tomatoes, one of which is my absolute favorite, and that is a BLT. Well, unfortunately, this year I'm trying to shed some of the pounds that I gained when I quit smoking, and it just happens to coincide with the tomatoes coming in. So I'm going to attempt to make a healthy BLT, if there's any such thing. Now, some of the ways I'm going to do is normally, by the way, normally I would use a real premium bacon, thick cut, and everybody knows I love my hog meat, but this is going to be a compromise. I'm going to be using the turkey bacon, and it's supposedly 50% less fat. It's by Oscar Mayer. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to be, but we're going to give that a shot. Also, I'm having Miracle Whip Light. I've always been a Miracle Whip guy. I know there's usually two types of people, Miracle Whip or mayonnaise people. For the most part, I've always been a Miracle Whip guy. So, what we're going to do, oh, and by the way, the bread is going to be a wrap. So this is going to be like a BLT wrap. And this is called Smart and Delicious by the La Tortilla Factory. As you can tell, I'm not Spanish. Smart and Delicious, high fiber, 12 grams, low carb, whole wheat. I don't know. It may suck. It's very possible that it will suck, but you'll know in a few. First thing we need to do is get this turkey bacon on. I really hesitate to even call it bacon, but it is supposedly pretty decent. We'll find out. It kind of looks like bacon, but yet not. You know, we're gonna go ahead and fry up some of this. Doesn't really smell like bacon, truthfully. Smells like I'm not really sure what it smells like. I mean, they've obviously tried to make it look like bacon, and I think it's got kind of a smoky smell to it. So I'm sure they've went with. Now, in order to make this work, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some cracked black to the turkey bacon. At the very least, it'll have a peppery taste to it. Okay, put this away. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and I've taken the liberty of already cutting up the lettuce to the way I want it. Now the tomatoes, I've rinsed them off. Now the nice thing about tomatoes or any other vegetable that comes out of my garden is you don't really have to wash them, because I haven't sprayed them with anything. So all you really need to do is rinse the dirt off, and you will get dirt on the tomatoes in a garden. That's just the way that is. So basically cut the core of that off. There's a little spot here and there, which you'll get with homegrown tomatoes. Just kind of trim that off. I think I'm going to be okay with 2 tomatoes. By the way, and it's kind of off cam, and I was debating whether to tell you about this or not, but my friend Red, who some of you know from my duck blind videos, he has a massive garden, and he always grows a ton of corn, and he just gave me some. And Red's corn, listen, the man's in his mid-80s. He's perfected growing corn. So I'm going to have a couple of ears of corn, but Smart Balanced Light. I know this might suck too, I don't know. Yeah, normally I would slather it in butter, but I'm not going to do that this time around. You know. I'm doing what I can, people. I'm doing it baby steps. That's kind of the way I look at it, baby steps. So this stuff kind of smells like bacon as you're cooking it. I don't know. Kinda. Not overly, but kind of smells like bacon. It's real thin, which, if this was bacon, it'd be all curled up, and it doesn't really do that, so it's actually Actually, I think it cooks a little bit better than bacon. It definitely doesn't have the fat because it's not as there's not a lot of grease in the pan like you would get if you were cooking bacon. I don't want to burn it. I think I might have the flame up just a little. I've got it at a medium. I'm going to turn it into maybe a low medium. Now it says this stuff is fully cooked. This turkey bacon, this faux bacon, it's supposedly fully cooked. So I'm not real sure how long to cook it for. I kind of like my bacon crispy, but yeah, I don't know that this stuff is going to get crispy. I really don't. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move the tomatoes I don't need off of the plate. Okay. To give me room. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and slice up some tomatoes. Now this is going to be in a wrap, so I think what I'm going to do, instead of leaving them like that, which I would normally do, I think I'm going to cut them like that, so they fit into the wrap better. Now this is, by the way, and this is a first for me, so I mean I've never done this before. It may turn out like absolute crap. Hard to say. Now what's really important when you're cutting homegrown tomatoes, okay, it's very, very important to have a slice, little sea salt on it. By the way, I've gotten used to sea salt. It wasn't a big leap. It was actually alright. Supposedly it's better for you. I don't know. Anyway, a little sea salt just to make sure the tomatoes are up to snuff. Man, I'll tell you what. Homegrown tomatoes. I mean, enough said. Homegrown tomatoes. You know, a lot of people don't realize how easy it is to grow tomatoes. And, you know, they charge just a ridiculous amount for them in the grocery store. And they don't, the ones you get in the grocery store don't even compare to what you can grow in your own yard. And you know what? It doesn't take a lot of room to grow tomatoes. You can do it if you live in an apartment and you have a balcony. You can grow tomatoes. Now I'm not sure about this Make A Healthy Blt. I think I had it years ago. I don't remember it sucking, but I just don't remember. Okay, now I think, to be honest with you, I think this bacon, I think it's, for the most part, I think it's done. You know, it's not real crispy, but you know, it's I think it'll work. I think it'll work. So what I'm gonna do is slide that off to the side, because what I want to do is I want to. This may be the biggest mistake yet, but what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to actually kind of toast the wrap, or the tortilla, whatever the heck it is. Okay. So this is where Paper Cut 777 would start cussing. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He was started from the very beginning. And a big shout out to Paper Cuts. If you don't sub to Paper Cuts, you really should. He's got an awesome cooking show. As does, you know, the Armed Lunch Lady, you know, Guar 1981, and Scotty DTV. All three of those guys have awesome. You know what? I have to say a big shout out to the guys of YouTube, because the guys of YouTube seem to be honest with you, the real deal in the kitchen. I see more really great cooking videos from the guys of YouTube than I do from the women. So just saying. Okay, this is what it looks like. We're gonna throw this, and I don't want this to be like a burrito or anything, but we're gonna throw that in the skillet. It's under kind of a low medium heat. I'll turn it up a little bit, I think, because I don't want this to take too awfully long. Yeah, it could come up a little bit, I think. Okay. And you know what? I need another plate that I'm going to make this on. So let me get that. I'll make it a flatter plate. Yeah, you know what? If I thought if I would have been thinking, I think maybe those in the broiler. But see, you still want to be able to wrap them, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work. Maybe I just warm it up a bit. I can always try another one, which I don't think I've ever had BLTs where I only had just one, so I think the first one's going to be a test run. We'll see how it works out. Okay, this is getting fairly warm. Alright, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Is this warm? Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at that. Alright. So now, I'm going to get my bacon. I've never wrapped anything before, so hopefully this works out. I'm going to put one piece of bacon down. Then I think 3 slices of tomato, which works out perfectly. But I think then I'm going to go ahead and squirt the Miracle Whip on. Okay. Okay, a little Miracle Whip. And then, of course, the lettuce. And then I'm going to need some more bacon. I'm going to need some more bacon. It never fails when you're trying to make a video. Some buffoon decides it's time to call. So, all right. I'm going to wrap this now. Okay. Now, I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, that's what it looks like inside. It's basically a BLT wrap. I'm going to take a bite. Hey. Wow. Honestly, it's not bad. It's really not. Huh. It is a lot better than what I thought it would be. Seriously. It is a lot better than I thought it would be. I kind of thought it would be okay. Okay, leaning towards suck. But the truth is, this is actually, it's doable. Yeah, absolutely. The turkey bacon adds a little bit of a smoky meat flavor to the thing, but it's not. Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't do the math as far as calorie counts and all that crap, fat count. But this is a good alternative. It really is. You just have to trust me on that. It's a good alternative. The bacon is doable for sure. Would I love to have some real nice thick cut, maybe some applewood smoked bacon on this puppy? You bet I would. But you know what? Seriously, this is alright. This really is. This is alright. Anyway, I won't bore you with the corn. Everybody's seen corn on the cob before. But hopefully you like this. I encourage you to try this at home. It's really not bad. It just really isn't. So anyway, listen, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon. Have a good one.